I'm gonna do this here intro. To let y'all know. That this is the disclaimer. Disclaimer. This is not my regular video. Not my regular video. I'm gonna give y'all Prom Queen. This is what you've been waiting on. Now you really getting in my mind, not just my real life. I'm gonna let you inside my mind, the type of thinking about. So, without further ado, let me introduce y'all to a book I call Prom Queen. Come here. Now, come a little closer. Man, come a little closer. About to holler at you about something. I'm fit to put you up on this story called The Prom Queen. It's about a real live queen. Not the kind you thinking about. Fuck. Let me explain. So, way back in the day, I think the year was 75. It was a real fly pimp named Phancey. 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 Let me tell you about this pimp. This pimp named Phancey. Now, Phancey was a fly individual. You see what I'm saying? I'm talking about the flies of the fly. All the bitches wanted to be with Phancey. All the niggas hated on Phancey. The pimps, they smiled in his face. They talk shit behind his back. They ain't like that nigga. They ain't like it. There was something about it. He really wasn't one of them. They didn't feel like he was one of them. There's something about him. He don't deserve them hoes. He don't deserve them clothes. Something about this pimp named Phancey. He don't like that nigga. So, on this particular day, Phancey going about his PI, about his BI. You know what I'm saying? He riding in that long 1974 Cadillac Brougham. You know the Brougham. The long junk. So, I gotta describe it to you. It's all white. Everything on the outside white. For some reason, this nigga even had a white gold grill on his Cadillac. White gold rims on that Cadillac with big gangster white walls. White leather rag top on it. Then when you open the inside, it was white leather seats. Some reason them back seats looked a little bigger than they supposed to, like it was a real living room couch, but it was white leather in that jump plush with the buttons everywhere. Red mink on the floor. You gotta keep your feet out. You can keep your shoes off before you put your feet off in the junk. You know what I'm saying? One of them type. Phancey real live player, man. I'm telling you, Phancey real live player. So, as he riding, I got to tell you that Phancey don't drive. Phancey got a driver named Shorty. Now, Shorty is about 5'4", 5'3", somewhere in there. Might be like 160 pounds, a little chubby. A little chubby to be so short. Now, Shorty problem is he falls in the spectrum of the other type of nigga. If you asking Phancey, Phancey believe there's only two types of niggas. Those that got money and they looking for hoes, and those that got hoes and they looking for money. Now, Phancey got hoes and he always looking for money. Everybody else, you got money. You got to be looking for a hoe. And I don't give a damn if you got a penny or a quarter. That's money. Come on with it. So, the three people that's in this car, you got Shorty driving. You have Phancey over here on the right hand on the passenger side. But over here on your left, you got your little thing called Suzanne. Not Susan, but Suzanne. Now Suzanne is a little country bumpkin, but she fine though. You know what I'm saying? Ain't been to Chicago that long. She ain't been to Chicago that long. But Phancey gonna get it right. He gonna straighten out. Now, I'm trying to tell you. So, Suzanne is a red bone. And she ain't just no any red bone. She's a pretty red bone. Got a pretty pie face. Light brown eyes. You know what I'm saying? She got this long hair. It ain't nappy. But it ain't got the best straightening on it. But that body, you ain't gonna beat that body. This girl straight out the Alabama woods some damn well. Come on now. So, while she riding in the car with Phancey laying the law down, he give her telling her like, look. He give her the story about his mama, how he became a pimp. And the story is, mama, I can't give you the whole story because that's a whole different book. But look. Phancey became enraged with his mother after months and months of being homeless. Him and his sister, his big sister, sat and watched his mama turn down Johns who wanted her to trick. And they thought, you know what I'm saying, why would mama say, nah, we need this money, we ain't ate in 2 days. You know, we ain't had a place to sleep. We've been sleeping out here outside behind this building. And he didn't really understand at first, but he was only 13 at the time. His sister was 16. So she knew a little bit more. And one day, his sister pulled him behind the building away from his mama, and she broke it down to him what was going on. Or should I say what wasn't going on. And he understood. What he didn't understand was, if mama had this capability to make money any day of the week and to feed us every day of the week, why would she not do it any day of the week? He didn't understand that. And his sister told him she didn't understand it neither. But they was tired of being hungry. She told him, I'm tired of living on the street. I'm just tired of the life we live in. And the way she broke it down to him is basically, look at her. I'm going to go get this money, and I'm going to feed us. I just want you to protect us, little bro. Protect me while I'm getting this money, and I'm going to get us food. I'm going to get us off the street. And that's what they did. At the age of 14, Phancey became a pimp, and his first hoe was his big sister. He pimped his sister right off that motherfucking street. You know what I'm saying? He pimped his sister right up to their penthouse. And then he started pimping some of her friends. Anybody else she could get to come on and join the team. Well, eventually, his sister got knocked. And he had to get some more hoes, and he kept it going. When his sister came back out, she ended up getting with another pimp. That was years ago. He done moved on. He done had several hoes since then. They never looked back. Look back for what? But he telling her this story, and he telling her, he letting her know, look, my pimping a little bit different. Because my pimping didn't come out of greed or want or trying to shine. My pimping came out of necessity and love. And my pimping is still about necessity and love. Right now, you're in a situation where you need some necessities. And you need some love. And I'm going to show you what I'm about. So as they riding through the city in the Cadillac, he taking them through all the blocks, all the neighborhoods, showing her all the high rises, Wrigley Field. She ain't never been through Chicago like this. Not like this. Not riding like this. With a pimp like this. Nah. Got her mind gone right now. So she riding and Shorty steady driving. And as they been in the block, Shorty look in the rearview mirror and he tell Phancey like, Phancey, nigga, you looking real suave and dapper now back there. You know, Shorty type of nigga that kiss a man. Shorty always look for a raise. The funny thing is, Shorty don't even get paid. His whole payment is Nigga, you get to hang around the pimp all day. You get to look at these hoes. On the weekend, I might let one of them suck you up, but that's about it. Shorty don't even get paid. He just get to drive the car, live in the house, look at the bitches. So Shorty back here passes out these couple of bitches. And Phancey in the mindset of, say jive turkey. Is it a reason why you giving me all the compliments and my bitch ain't got none yet? And Shorty tried to explain, he tried to apologize. Man, he says, Phancey, wait, let me. Phancey cut him off. No, don't worry about it. I tell you what. Once you hit this here corner and go down a couple blocks and take us to Marshall Fields. Now, if you don't know, Marshall Fields was the popping clothing store back in the day in Chicago around 75. You know what I'm saying? If you had some money, you was shopping in Marshall Fields. If not, you was shopping somewhere else. So, go to Marshall Fields and he let her try on dress after dress after dress. She trying about 8 dresses. And every dress she getting compliments. They telling her how good she looking. Oh, girl, that's the one you should get right there. That's the one. And he telling the baby, you look good in all the dresses. So we gonna get you all the dresses. And she just overjoyed, you know what I'm saying? She don't know what to do. She ain't never had no shit like this happen. And she fresh up here from Alabama. She in Chicago. Phancey putting it down. They real live player shit. Told you Phancey real live player. So he just blowing her mind. He took her, you know what I'm saying, shopping. Bought her all these dresses. Been about $2,000 worth of dresses, you know what I'm saying? So they get back in the car. And they riding again, they driving. Shorty got the music playing, but it's playing real low. You know what I'm saying? Playing too loud. Playing a little bit of Willie Hutch. I Choose You, but it's playing low. Kind of like a song in the background of a movie or a good book. So, as they riding through the city, they bumping his Hutch again. And he look at her with her dress on. He look at himself, he cleaner than him and bored of hell. Tell her, baby, I think we need to hit the town, get something to eat. Let me show you off right quick. And she like, ooh, Phancey, let's go. So they get out there and they hit in the town. They pull up in front of the restaurant. And Phancey see all these pimps outside. They got all these hoes. And her eyes big and bright. And he tell her, you know what, baby? I got a different plan. I think I'm gonna keep you all to myself. I don't want to share you with the world. So they spin the block again, looking at the buildings, looking at all the high rises. Up pop Wrigley Field. Shorty swings in front of Wrigley Field. Hops out, catches the dope. He get her out first. Bring her around the Phancey door. Now he get her out first because he know not to keep Phancey waiting. Ain't no way he was gonna open that main door and leave him standing on the sidewalk while he go get to the bitch. So we open that bitch door, let the bitch out, and then he go get Phancey door. And open Phancey door, let Phancey out. And tell him, there you go, sir. And he ushers them on in the Wrigley Field. Phancey had no problem. The doors are unlocked. They walk in. As they walk in, he walks out the center field. He walks around. He looks up. And he points at the scoreboard. And he got his name going across Phancey with a P. Phancey with a P. Phancey with a P. Phancey with a P. Phancey is a P. Phancey is a P. Phancey is the P. So look, by the time she get through reading all the name changes, Phancey is a P, Phancey is a P, Phancey is a P. Turn around and now it's a table. Candlelight right here in the middle. Right there. On the pizza mat. So they slide over to the table. Once again, you can hear the hutch bumping in the background. Got that hutch bumping. You pull a child, sit her down, sit herself down, take her by her hand, pull her close, stroke her face, and ask her, baby, we at the ballpark. What's your favorite ballpark food? And she tell him, I love baseball hot dogs. So he make a little sign with his hand. And they push a cart out. People come out with the cart like they had the shit ready already. So when they push the cart out, they got the silver trays on it like you see in the movies. And they lift the tray up and there's a couple hot dogs on it. He tell the baby, that's you. And the man put the hot dogs on the table in front of her. And then he pushed the cart around to his side of the table. And he pulled the top off. And it's a big ass porterhouse steak. Put a bottle of champagne on the table. And she look at him and she looking at the steak. And she looking at her hot dogs and she like, why you get me hot dogs and you get a steak? And I'm not sure how much time he took to explain to her that I gave you a choice. Even though I said baseball food, shit. This is the type of shit I eat when I watch baseball. If that's the type of shit you watch when you watch baseball, they just let you know, baby, we're on two different plateaus. But I'm gonna help you get where I'm at. Right now, you over there. Stick with me. Fuck with me. Run with me. So they eat their dinner. She eat her hot dogs. Phancey eat his steak. And after dinner is over, he take her back to the car. Open the door for her. Wait while she remove her shoes and slide on in. He slide on in. They drive off. Now, this time, the music is a little faster. It's more like a Curtis Mayfield, Freddy's Dead type of vibe. Shorty driving a little faster. Shorty kind of moving. He's not cruising no more. And after a short drive, Shorty then made it to a street called Halstead. Now when you get to Halstead, I think it's like 76 in Halstead where he was. Shorty pulls the car over and Phancey looks at Suzanne and he explains to her, hey, this is where you get out. And she looked kind of confused, like, what do you mean? And he like, look at her. Ain't nothing in this life for free. I told you I was going to bring you with me, but for that, you got to work. You got to build yourself up. And first of all, you got to pay me back for what I've already done for you. And then we can discuss what I'm going to do for you. And she like, what do you mean? What do you mean? And he's explaining to her, like, you owe me $4,000 for the dresses I bought. And he tells her, like, and she's like, nah, I thought that was like $2,000. I'm like, yeah. That's what I owed the store, and I paid them that. You owe me $4,000 because you ain't got shit, and you can't pay me today. You got my money? If you got my money right now, it'd be $2,000. You got it? You know I ain't got it. He said, I know. But I also know that you can have my $4,000 by the time you come home tonight. Here go the address to the house. He wrote it down for her. He said, this is the flat right here, so you pull up at the flat when you get my money. And he told her, look, you see them girls over there? The one in the red dress and the one in the white dress. Go introduce yourself. Them your sisters. They're going to look out for you. They're going to teach you the ropes. Then go get my money. Now, for y'all just rocking with me, that's the end of chapter 1 on Prom Kween. And I'm going to finish this story up on the book club at the Banks Book Club. So y'all go subscribe to the Banks Book Club, because I'm going to sit on these videos. I'm not going to start dropping them until I get enough subscribers over there. Y'all fuck with me. Go on over there and subscribe. Because like I said, over here, we ain't going to do nothing but the real. But over there, I'm going to give y'all the stories that I wrote in the penitentiary and all this and that. So y'all just fuck with me, man. Go over there and subscribe. Like, comment, subscribe, share this shit. Tell a friend or tell a friend. We're going to spin the bin and do it again. You feel me? And you know what we going to do. The long way, not the wrong way. Holla at your boy.